Hello, everyone. I'm Dear Myrtle, your friend in genealogy, but this channel is all about journaling, telling the stories of my ancestors. And if you've been following along, I've been working in this little simple Japanese soft-sided journal. But I want to talk about content today. I turn off the darn phone. It's just going to make more and more noise as time goes on. I'd originally thought that I would print out the family photos of the property where our parents lived in kind of muted tones, but I decided to do the regular tones because when I looked at them at, with a little morphine of the graphic, they were just too faint. And part of the Pacific Northwest is the incredible green. So here I have the dedication and that explanation that it focuses on the Japanese style of the garden, the influence there. I'm using little arrows and things to let people know what this is. There's their address as it was once in Bellevue, now Medina. Then I got to this little pocket, and because of how this is with the arrow, it's enticing them to pull this out. This is a picture from about 1965 when Dad and Blanche first bought the property. And you'll notice that it is mostly evergreens in the background. This was Dad and Blanche just about a few months before Blanche passed away, and then Dad 9 months later. So again, I'm beginning to build the content, and that's the purpose of this. Now, I'd explained in the introduction there that the Japanese influence calls for green on green, but there are a few exceptions. One of them are rhododendrons. They grow naturally in Washington State. So I put one of the pictures of their rhododendron there. And then I explained on the back of this card, this tag, how Dad had taken the overgrown rhododendrons and clipped them back so that you could only see a few stumps, little stumps that are about an inch in diameter coming up out of the ground about a foot. No leaves, nothing. But the next spring they came back something beautiful. Again, I'm doing this to remind myself, what am I talking about? What is the plan in this book? So this says Dad Overlake Drive Gardens. This was kind of an interesting thing that I stumbled across. I've been working on closets and things, and I found this Asian dollhouse screen, and I decided it belonged there and that I will be able to then journal on these 2 pages. And I'm going to have to explain azaleas and dogwood in the spring, and this is just what you'd see out the living room windows. Quite beautiful. This was also our 2-level croquet court, second croquet court. Just stuffing things in to look interesting. This, I haven't figured out what to write on the back yet. I might put these 2 together as I did elsewhere, but I want to show you something different that I didn't anticipate doing. In order to explain this picture, which is of a water fountain that our father made, it's a waterfall with a circulating pump. There's a beautiful Japanese red maple, and then here is a Japanese bench, and to get there you have to go around between this rhododendron and the one off to the side that's not in view, so that you can go up there and sit. And when I was telling one of my daughters about it, she said they like to go there as little children. They also like to go behind it and hide out because it was a secret hiding place. But this is what I didn't anticipate that I'd do. I have a fine point pencil, and yes, I know that pencils are not, this pencil marking is going to fade away, but the smallest micron marker I have is point something, 0.45 millimeters, and I wouldn't have been able to get the detail in. Our parents had a real Japanese tea house with shoji screens and everything, and it was on the side of this swimming pool area. that had a retractable roof so that it could be used more months of the year. And it was built up about 2 feet. The property on this side is up 2 feet from our old croquet court on the north side of the house. And this is where the waterfall is to the side. Well, I got all carried away about the stepping stones back to the house, the little porch area, and in this little square was where Dad had built a wooden enclosure to hide one of those roll-up thingamabobs for hoses, for garden hoses. He also did an interesting thing. When they put the hot tub in off the master bedroom, which of course isn't exactly to scale, he made it so that in the summertime you could open these doors and see out across up to the tea house and the adjoining enclosed pool with retractable roof. And the way it worked when these doors were closed, he made it so that it was vertical, not horizontal siding. That was the style in those days. Um, it just looks like it's ordinary vertical siding on the side of the house. You would never guess that somebody could be inside, pull down the lock on each door and undo the deadbolt only from the inside, and then push to open these. In fact, they went all the way open so that people could be in the spa playing croquet up here on the deck, in lounge chairs, in the pool. Maybe they've closed or opened most of the soji screens so you could see into the tea house with the little round freestanding fireplace. Yeah, and that's the north side. You would have entered the property from way over here. You could have parked here or way down here. Well, I don't know why I wrote this. It brought back memories to do it. And I think about today. Today's the day my dad passed away in 2007, 35 years after his mother passed away in the same house. He and Dad and Blanche had taken care of Grandma Myrtle as she suffered through the last months of Lou Gehrig's disease. Anyway, so I want you to see that sometimes you officially write it on a page. Sometimes it's on a pullout. There's more information, particularly that interesting story. I still have plenty of room in this journal to add additional photos, more stories about the lawn. Like this two-level, this is the upper level, that's the lower level of the croquet court, the second one. This is all on the south side of the house. And over here, I wish I had a picture of it, was this man-eating juniper bush that if you, I gotta tell the story, if you hit your ball and it had the misfortune of going underneath that juniper bush, the entire game would stop. All kinds of accoutrements would come out, including brooms, 2x4s with a L-shaped something or other screwed onto it to try to retrieve the ball. It was a big deal, but it was worse than any sand trap on any professional golf course. I gotta tell you. So I hope that you're having fun journaling. You can certainly buy journals. I'm having a lot of fun making them, and we'll see how it goes. Let me know what your projects are. I'm excited to hear about them. So there's nothing left to say, but I'm Dear Myrtle, your friend in genealogy. Happy family tree climbing and journaling, everybody. That's a wrap.